Well, good morning, man. It's May the 4th. So we turn to the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, for God's daily dose of wisdom. And as I was reading through Proverbs chapter 4, verses 25 through 27 jumped off the page. And they read like this: Let your eyes look directly ahead, and let your gaze be fixed straight in front of you. Watch the path of your feet, and all your ways will be established. Do not turn to the right nor to the left. Turn your foot from evil. Okay, what's he talking about? Well, the common denominator in these three verses are your eyes and your feet. Let your eyes look directly ahead and let your gaze be fixed straight in front of you. Why would he say something like that? It's because the world will try and distract us with so many things on our left and on our right. The world will try and bring counterfeits, and they will try and divert your gaze from the things that the Lord has set you on. In verse 26, he says, watch the path of your feet, and all your ways will be established. So we've gone from looking directly ahead and letting your gaze be fixed straight in front of you and not being distracted to looking at the path of your feet. Specifically, where are your feet right now? Now, when I read verse 26, my mind immediately jumped to Psalm 119, verse 105, that says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. It's not a searchlight that shines down the road and lights everything up and lets us see what's going on ahead of us. No, his word is a lamp to my feet. It enables us and shows us where to put my foot next. Where's my next step? What do I have to do next? That's all we need to be concerned with. And God's word illuminates our path just enough so that we can place that next step. Now, it says, do not turn to the right nor to the left. Turn your foot from evil. What's he talking about there? He's talking about not being diverted. Remember in verse 25, all these distractions are coming in, and they're trying to pull you in a different direction than the direction that the Lord has placed you on. But he's saying, don't go there. Don't turn to the right or the left, but make sure that you turn your foot from evil. If that next step that you think you're going to take is going to be one that's going to bring evil or is going to divert you from the righteous path that God has placed you on, he says, now that's a step that you shouldn't take. Turn your foot from evil. Don't go there. Now, where we fix our gaze, verse 25 says, let your gaze be fixed straight in front of you. Where we fix our gaze is going to determine where we're going to go. When I was a police officer, there were many classes that we had to take, and one of the classes in traffic school was all about object fixation. And what happens is when somebody is in a situation, they fixate on a particular object. It might be a telephone pole, it might be a tree, it might be another car, what have you. But when they fix their eyes on whatever it is that's that object, 9 times out of 10, they're going to hit that object. They're going to run right into that tree. They're going to hit that telephone pole. They're going to run right into that car. Now, I used to ride motorcycles, and I took motorcycle defensive training. And the one thing that they told you in that class is, don't look at where you don't want to go. Look at where you want to go. Because the motorcycle will follow your gaze. It will follow where it is that you want to go. So always be looking for the escape route. Always be looking for the safe way to go. And that's exactly what the Lord is talking about here in verse 25. Let your gaze be fixed straight in front of you. Where your eyes look matters. Now in Matthew chapter 14, the disciples are in a boat. They had just seen the feeding of the 5,000. And if you're a chosen fan like me, you saw this particular climax to the end of season 3 where Peter walks on the water. And they're in this boat. Jesus has gone up onto the mountain to pray. He sent them out into this storm. Jesus sent them out into the storm knowing that there was going to be a storm and knowing what was going to happen. And the disciples are out there in this boat, and they've been fighting this storm all night long. They're trying to get to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, and they're not making any headway because there's this storm that's just in their face. And Jesus comes walking across the water towards them. At first, they didn't recognize him, thought he was a ghost. And as he got closer, Jesus said, "It's me." And Peter said to him, and this is starting in verse 28, Peter said to him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." And he said, "Come." And Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came toward Jesus. But seeing the wind, our eyes matter. Where we're looking matters. But seeing the wind, he became frightened and began to sink. And he cried out, "Lord, save me." And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand, took hold of him, and said to him, "You have little faith. Why did you doubt?" Jesus himself is there on the water with Peter. And Peter began to look around at the wind and the waves, and he began to sink. Where our eyes are focused matters, guys. My prayer is that our eyes would be fixed on Jesus, the author and the perfecter of our faith. That no matter what happens, no matter how the world tries to distract us, and no matter what the problems are and the wind and the waves that are coming up against us, no matter any of that, that we can use his word to tell us where we take the next step. And that as we do, our paths will be established. My brothers and sisters, I love you, each and every one of you. I pray that you go out and you make a difference in someone's life today. God bless you.